Bag. I want the bag. Work my way from a garden to a track. Flip it from a track to a plot full of acres. Do it for the farmers and the producers and the makers. What we even here for? Occasionally I ask it. I know it's more than struggling, anticipating the casket. Reap what we sow, trying to fill up my basket. Life's a plantation, I self-law and master. Over the plot I've been granted on this planet. Now it's slanted, cause the chosen been supplanted. But if you overstand it, it was spoken. Fractured, but we ain't broken. Even though some would rather play the role of token, we growing. Black through the essence of our presence. We carry the blood of gods, we carry the mind of peasants. Rich black gardens, future look more like Eden. Multiply seeds like the seed banks in Sweden. Rep my planners on plan according to season. B1 code, switching it up is treason. Black power, family what we eat. Either we get fed or we feed. B1AG.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. B1AG family, welcome back. Welcome Black to the Garden. This is John Henry Harris, and this is B1AG. Here at B1AG, we focus at Black agriculture as it pertains to Black agriculture production, education, marketing, health, food, nutrition, and economics, all for the B1 family and for the B1 community. I hope this podcast finds you doing well. Farmer Brown will not be a part of this podcast, but he does send his well wishes. But I really just wanted to check in with you today, as there have been more movement with our Black farmers when it comes to the debt relief. We've been following this story very carefully. Back in March 2021, Congress passed the Emergency Relief for Farmers of Colors Act of 2021. This bill was meant to address and redress the admitted and proven decades of racial discrimination in USDA lending. Now, our Black farmers have been discriminated against when it comes to getting loans and just general services that the USDA provides. Now, since the bill was passed, the farmers, they never received their debt relief. And within the last 2 weeks, we've had 3 states file injunctions to block the debt relief, citing reverse racism. So today we just wanted to fill in the story, keep following the story. Still kicking the can. Tennessee judge joins the blocking debt relief effort for Black farmers. Here at B1AG, our Black farmers are our main concern. They are the lifeblood of our community, and they are the last gatekeepers, sacred gatekeepers of our generational wealth. Now, Chief U.S. District Judge Thomas Anderson has issued a national injunction that bars the Biden administration from enacting loan forgiveness, and this was approved by Congress in March. They're supposed to receive $4 billion. However, after the bill was passed, this $4 billion in debt relief that was earmarked initially for Black farmers, the words changed to socially disadvantaged farmers, who's definitely in socially disadvantaged. That definition reaches beyond the scope of Black farmers to include immigrants, American Indians, Asian, Alaska Native, Hispanic and Latino, and Pacific Islander. Even though the bill was made to address the systematic discrimination from the USDA enacted upon Black farmers. And now we have our third judge in Tennessee who has filed an injunction to block the debt relief for the Black farmers. This is very discouraging and disheartening because me and Farmer Brown, we talked about this and we called it from the beginning. It's just like they're playing kick the can. Congress passed the legislation, they passed the bill, and yet the implementation is just being stuck in the muck of the justice system as people continue to throw roadblocks and stop this debt relief, despite the fact that these Black farmers have been underrepresented and left out in the cold when it comes to receiving any kind of help from the USDA. I like to play this for you just to rehash and just to give you more concrete information exactly about what our Black farmers are dealing with. This is John Boyd as he talks to CBS about exactly the fight and the plight of our Black farmers in this country.
And I'm hopeful that the administration, in this case, President Biden, will hear my plea to sit down and speak to him about this. It looks as though if Secretary Vilsack had moved more swiftly to get the payments out to Blacks and other farmers of color, the actual debt relief itself, we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. So here we have the banks that came out against this measure, that didn't want to work with Black farmers by somehow saying if we got these monies, it would be hurtful to banks. And now you have white farmers who are saying we're causing them harm in some sort of way if we get debt relief at the United States Department of Agriculture. And in reality, it's been white farmers who have been getting the debt relief the whole time. That they've gotten $500 billion, white farmers, in the U.S. Farm Subsidy Program. Almost all of the direct loans and rural development loans and all of these loans at USDA have went to large-scale white farmers in this country. So my question to them is, well, how many times are you going to get? And they don't want to talk about that. So how can we have racial healing in this country if first white farmers don't want to admit that we've been discriminated against by the United States Department of Agriculture? We need to sit down and have a real discussion in this country, because people, we're living in two Americas. One in rural America where you have the rebel sign and all of these are flags that sit higher than the United States flag, and they represent, look like to me, white farmers. And then you have Black farmers like myself who just want to be treated with dignity and respect and walk into the local county office and be able to attain these services here in this country. And people, that has not been happening in a fair and equitable manner, and all of the numbers support that statement.
Now, this is a fight that John Boyd has been in for over 30 years. Largely, our Black farmers, they're in this fight with no backing. They've been fighting this alone. It's been a silent war. But the USDA is often referred to as the last plantation. This is like one of the biggest and last strongholds that's left from slavery. They're still operating in the same manner. And what's really disturbing is that these injunctions to stop the debt relief, they're based on the fact that they're saying that this is reverse racism, when the whole bill was designed to fight or to try to remedy the racism that the Black farmers, especially when it comes to lending money, have faced. And what's even, I just want the B1AG community to think about this. The language they use to define socially disadvantaged, as we just stated, it reaches beyond Black farmers, even though that's who the bill was designed to help. And the language in this bill also does not prevent white farmers from also applying to the program. But all three of these lawsuits argue that the program excludes white farmers and is therefore discriminating against white farmers. Now, this bill, the total bill was worth $1.9 trillion. $4 billion was supposed to go to these black farmers for debt relief. It's not even giving them money or giving them land, which hundreds of thousands of acres have been stolen, literally stolen by the USDA from black farmers, since 1914. But they're making this claim of reverse racism. Now, I want y'all to think about this real quick, family, before, I really want you to think about this. They're saying reverse racism. In my mind, it's either racist or it's not. Reverse racism, how can that exist? Now, if it's reverse racism, are you saying that inherently that if something is racist, that it's coming from a person of non-melanated character being enacted on somebody who is melanated? It's a funny thing. Reverse racism. If this bill was racist, it's just a racist bill, which it is not. But they're claiming reverse racism. Now, they're not complaining about the remaining balance of that $1.9 trillion that these white farmers, they are getting access to. A lot of the farmers that were in Wisconsin and Missouri, they even admitted that they don't even qualify nor even want the debt relief. They're just mad because they feel like they can't get it. Although they've been privy to all the other debt reliefs and COVID and other efforts to make the farmers whole, they had access, but continue to deny the same access for our black farmers. B1AG family, this is very important. This is our food. This is how we feed ourselves. If they're denying our black farmers access to be equitable, if they're denying our farmers access to be productive, that in fact hurts the overall production of food in this country, period. The West is under a mega drought. Farmers out West, they are not even, some are not even planting because it's too dry. There's no rain. The Colorado River is drying up. It makes more sense for them not to plant because they don't know when rain is coming. The West Coast, California, they produce food for the entire planet. What that means, if they're not planting now, that's less food in the future. It only behooves the country, this administration, the USDA, to do what they can for these black farmers because food shortage is coming. And that's just based on the fact that the West Coast can't produce as much food as they have been able to because of no rain, lack of water. Here at B1AG, we stress, and we will continue to stress, the importance of growing your own food. We have to grow our own food, y'all. We have to get our shovels in the ground. We have to get our seeds in the ground. It's imperative. We have to be able to supplement our own diet. We have to be able to make sure that we can eat. Because if we leave it up to the USDA, they've already shown a pattern of y'all aren't going to eat like these other farmers. We're not going to give you the same concessions that we offer these other farmers. So we need to grow harder. Everyone who can hear me, healthyblackfood.com. Go to healthyblackfood.com. Sign up for the program. It is engaging. It is educational. It is practical. Learn how to grow your own food. Sign up at healthyblackfood.com. It's that important. Also, subscribe to B1AG, the Daily Bread Podcast on YouTube. Just put B1AG Daily Bread Podcast in the search bar. Subscribe. Like and share the content. Like and share the content. Let's have this discussion. Let's make this discussion wider, bigger for everyone. We have to make sure that food stays a priority. You know, by 2040, they're projecting that 60% of the world's meat supply is going to be fake meat, fake foods. If you care about eating real food, if you care about making sure that you and your family eats the most organic, healthy, real foods, join us at the B1AG Daily Bread Podcast and let's talk about it. And we don't just talk about it, we grow about it. So we'll continue to follow this story. We'll continue to expose the plight of our Black farmers. We're going to continue to champion our Black farmers and Black producers as they continue to fight to do what they just know how to do and what their purpose in life. And that's to provide for the people of this planet, to give us nourishment and sustenance. Hey, y'all. Like I said, we'll continue to talk about this. I know Farmer Brian MC definitely has a lot he wants to weigh in on this situation. But Tennessee, they've become the third state to block the debt relief effort for Black farmers. And it looks like just more and more states, as time goes on, they're going to continue to kick the can to slow up the process of this debt relief. And while they're slowing up the process of this debt relief, that's less food being produced. And in the end, you're going to see the results on the prices, increased prices in the grocery store, less availability and diversity of produce in the grocery store. And all signs are pointing towards food shortage. So let's get busy, y'all. HealthyBlackFood.com. This is B1AG. And here at B1AG, we always stress, if you really, really want to know something, learn how to grow something. Be prosperous. I hope you have all the love you can stand in life. Let's be abundant. Let's be diligent. Let's grow harder. Peace out.